Hi, Kevin. My question got answered a few hours after sending it. You've heard me talk about this, all these questions here that came in, almost 500. I read every one and answer it. And I answer it energetically into the field, so you do pick it up if you're open. So, hi, Kevin. My question got answered a few hours after sending it. I downloaded the answer from the field. How did this work? Is this an energetic field that you created that receives and answers questions? I intuitively felt a connection to that energy, asked the question, and it got answered. It was not from the general field, I don't think. It is hard to explain. What is this? And how do you do this? Can you tell me more about it? Or is it too high level? It's pretty high level. Very few people know how to do this. And this is one of my fortes. In the Brotherhood, as I mentioned, people were brought in through bloodline. And in the bloodline, you had usually an area that was you were more inclined to. If somebody wasn't from a bloodline, they had to be exceptional in a particular area, so that they were brought in. I was one of those people because I wasn't from a bloodline. And my area was communication, both verbal and nonverbal, you can call it that, right? Verbal and nonverbal. And one is energetically being able to put out a frequency and actually affect another person. Everybody can do this, by the way. Everybody can do it to some degree. There was a movie, a funny movie, actually a tragic comedy about the Second World War and Nazi concentration camps called Life is Beautiful, with Roberto Benigni, nice Italian actor. And if you watch it, I recommend you watch it with subtitles, unless you speak Italian. It's in Italian. And if you're English speaking, watch the English subtitles. I think it's better than with the English. I don't know. I watched both of them. I like the ones with the subtitles. But in one part of the movie, he's reading Schopenhauer or something, or Schopenhauser or something. Some guy who can say, with your mind, you can create anything. And with your mind, you can get other people to be influenced, and you can, use your mind to convince yourself to go to sleep, and use your mind. It was all about this, some of the stuff we talk about. And there's this girl, Roberta Benigni likes. She's in the balcony at the opera, and Benigni is sitting in the on the floor, on the floor seats, and he's looking at her, and he's going, "Look at me, look at me." He's like sending these, these vibrations out, and she's watching the opera, and all of a sudden, at a certain point, she just turns around and looks at him, and he goes, "It works. It does work." When I read this question, I'll tell you what I do, not how I do it, but what I do. First thing I do is I pick up your frequency in your field. All I need is your name, and I don't even need your name. If it's just even an anonymous question, I can pick up the energy from the question. The number one, I pick up your frequency. It's kind of like tuning a radio. Now, there are billions and billions of frequencies. Okay, how many people are there on the planet? Plus, there's a frequency for a plant, and there's a frequency for everything. So you can call it, let's say there's trillions of frequencies, or trillions of channels on the radio dial. So the first thing I do is I dial in to your channel. That's number one. So now I have your channel. Now I have to broadcast on that channel. Two things happen when a radio is broadcast. The radio broadcasting station is broadcasting on a frequency or a channel. You at home have to dial in to that frequency to pick it up. So that's all I do. You are already on the dial. So you're only picking up, well, you're not only picking up, but you're picking up primarily on this frequency, the channel you're dialed into, your channel. It picks up more, but that's your primary channel. All I do is I broadcast on that channel. That's why it hits you stronger than somebody else who's not dialed into that channel. But automatically it's going into the general field as well. So this is why this particular person said, it's not coming from the general field. It's hard to explain, which is why he's saying that, because I'm broadcasting, it always goes into the general field, but it's focused on the frequency that your radio, and you're dialed to one frequency. That's how I can answer the question. You know, throughout history, we always said, when people pray to God, it's not that their prayers aren't answered, it's that you're not listening. They definitely are answered. Can I teach people to do this? I can teach a small percentage of people who have the ability to do it. I can teach everyone to increase their ability to do it. And it is higher level training. The problem with some of this higher level stuff that you want to learn is most people aren't willing to do the basics to get to the point where I can teach it to you. I remember I was with a professional golfer. I won't mention his name. I don't want to name drop, although I do love to name drop. It's kind of fun. No, but the reason I name drop is I want you to know where the source of the information is coming from and that it's valid. Somebody who has what you want is being aware. So I'll just say a very top, well-known, extremely well-known, most famous of all time, golfers. And I'm not a great golfer. And he could manipulate the ball very easily, which means we're on the driving range and he hits the ball and he goes, I'm gonna hit a low draw. So the ball didn't go very high and it goes to the left. He goes, I'm gonna hit a high draw. Same club. Ball goes high, goes to the left. He goes, now I'm gonna hit a low fade. Ball goes low, goes to the right. He goes, now I'm gonna hit a high fade. Ball goes up, over to the right. He goes, now I'm gonna hit a straight ball. High. Ball went high and straight. Now I'm gonna hit a low stinger, which he was famous for. Ball went straight, kind of low. I said, now, can you teach me how to do that? And he said, yeah, but you won't be able to do it until you hit like 10,000 balls and can hit every ball exactly the same. You have to get to a certain point. Then I can teach you how to do the advanced stuff. But you just try to hit the ball in the fairway. He goes, don't try to do this. Just try to hit it straight. You can't even do that consistently. You understand this? So a lot of people come to me and they say, hey, I want to learn how to do this. All right, no problem. First, you need to go through the Success Mastery course, level 1, all the way to the end of level 8, and do the Science of Personal Mastery course, which is the Brotherhood training, all the way up to all the lessons in level 8. Then I can start teaching you advanced stuff because you're virtually just at point 0. Let me explain that. You're virtually at the same level that we were at when we joined the Brotherhood and started the training. Because most people are just, no one's at point 0 when they join either the fan club, go through that training, Guru Kev lessons, or the GIN training, Global Information Network. You just, look, it's just not in the genes, you know? If you have 2 professional tennis players and they have a child, that person has an innate ability to play tennis. We know this. 2 concert violinists have a child. They have an innate ability to play the violin. They have a big advantage coming out of the gate. So if that person starts to take violin lessons and I start to take violin lessons, I'm minus 100. They're at 0 or plus 100. Just because it's in the genes, it's in the DNA. The mind is exactly the same way.